Okay, hey guys, and welcome to our Monday motivation call. You guys, I have literally been buzzing all day with excitement, okay, in anticipation for this call. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Milakovic. I'm a diamond with Plexus, and all that means is that I'm at the top of the company. I hit that rank before I turned 30, and I really, really love this company. I love these products. I love this community. How many of you would say that this community is unlike anything that you have ever experienced before? If you feel like that is true, drop a one in the comments. Because that was truly one of the biggest things for me that I was not expecting was to have such an incredible community like this one, okay? Everyone, it is so positive, encouraging, uplifting. Like, I love it so much, okay? And so I want more people to be able to experience what we have to offer. I want people knocking down our doors because they want to be a part of this, right? And that starts with us. It starts with our vision, it starts with our passion to do network marketing the way it can and should be done, but rarely is. And that quote comes from the top down. Our founder and CEO, Tarl Robinson, says that all the time because that's what he wants Plexus to be known as, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not here to play small. Okay. I'm not here to just impact a few lives. I'm not here to just impact one or two. I'm here to impact thousands, right? And I feel like this is just the beginning. 9 years in this month, and I feel like I'm just getting started. And I am just as excited, if not more excited, than I was when I first began because I know the impact that it can have on other people's lives. I feel such a strong conviction about sharing this opportunity, about sharing these products, because I know what it can do for other people. Okay. And I think that a lot of us have realized, especially over this last month, we have realized that there is such a huge need in our country for people to increase their finances. Right? Like I think that we all became very more aware of that over this last month. And so I am on a mission to help more people to get out of that situation. Okay. I when if you don't know our story, okay, when we got started on this, Phil had unexpectedly gotten let go from his job. Our kids were on Medicaid, and we had $100,000 of student loan debt hanging over our heads. That's where we started from. Okay, it was a situation that we never ever expected to find ourselves in, but we were. We needed assistance. We needed help to get back on our feet, and this opportunity is what completely did a 180 in our finances because we forgot how to dream in that season, right? Plexus gave us that gift of dreaming again. It's my calling, it's my mission, it's my passion to teach other people how to dream again, but not just dream again, how to make those dreams a reality because I've seen firsthand how that has happened in our lives. You guys, what we have to offer is so special, right? We have products that are truly changing people's lives. We have a business opportunity where moms with no business experience can stay at home with their babies and earn millions. Okay. I've literally earned over $1 million in Plexus. Like that's mind blowing to me. Okay. Absolutely mind blowing. And so there are so many people who have what we need, but so often we are too scared to hear the word no. And so we don't reach out. We let our fear stop us. We let our doubts stop us. We let all of those different kinds of things. But when you are so passionate, right, about your mission to change lives, you are going to reach out to people in spite of your fears. You are going to reach out over and over again despite your insecurities because you believe so strongly in what you have to offer. And while I truly do believe that this is for everyone, right? Not everyone's going to want it. Not everyone's going to say yes, but I am going to do my due diligence to ask and to offer it to other people. That's our job, right? I used to be a tired mom, right? I was napping every single day. I was playing with my kids from the couch, and I found something that changed all of that. And I wanted to share it with other moms. It happened very organically, very naturally, right? That's how it started for me. So let's get people in the door so that they can experience this for themselves. Let's give them the best customer experience that they possibly can have so that they want to invite their friends into this, that they want their friends to order the products too. I remember in the very beginning, when I first got started, when Amber and Caitlin and Kristen joined me, they're all jewels in the company now. They all joined me before I was gold. And the very first thing that piqued their interest was that I had energy to keep up with my kids, right? They were like, I want what she has. Like, are people looking at your life that you're posting on social media, right? Sharing your results, sharing what's going on. Are people looking at your life and saying, I want what she has? Are you a positive person when it comes to posting, sharing all the things? And I'm not talking about like, toxic positivity where you're pretending like nothing goes wrong. Like, I just posted a picture about my ripped pants, right? I'm like, I'm a six-figure earner, but I also ripped my pants. And all I could think about was the SpongeBob SquarePants episode. But I was like, you know what? I'm sharing real life, okay? I'm sharing all the things. I'm doing that. I'm real. I show up in the mess. I show up, but I'm always finding the good. I'm finding the humor, right? You're never, ever going to come to my page and find me complaining or making excuses. You just won't, because those are not the people that I'm trying to attract in, right? My Facebook does a lot of talking for me. I know that if I'm out talking to people, right? If I can just get them onto my Facebook, then they will be intrigued by what I do and who I am. And eventually they will do plexus with me. That's part of constantly expanding our networks, right? My goal in life, when I'm out, when I'm talking to people, my goal is to add value to people, to make new connections everywhere that I go. For example, okay, we were at the chiropractor a few weeks ago, and I'm sitting in the office. I see a mom with her baby, about 5 months old. We strike up conversation, right? I'm asking her questions. I'm talking to her, right? I'm not really doing a lot of the talking. I'm doing more of the listening, right? I get her on Facebook. I send her a message afterwards saying, hey, it was so great to meet you. I can tell that you're an amazing mom by this, and this that I saw while we were interacting at the office. And I just thought that I wanted to tell you because more moms need to hear that. And she was like, thank you so much. That like really impacted me. Like, she was so grateful that I took the time to say that, because when we take the time to say those things to people, it makes a difference, right? When you're out and about and you're waiting in line, most people, they have their heads down, they're in their phone, they're probably super nervous. If not more nervous than you to start a conversation, right? So if you see someone, I always tell my kids this, right? If you see someone who's standing alone, who's being left out, be brave and go talk to them, because they're probably more scared than you, right? Be courageous because that person needs you, right? It's getting the focus off of ourselves and then onto other people, right? Be intentional, ask questions. Don't make it about you, make it about them. Say the compliments out loud. Always be genuine with people. You guys, when you're out and about, like, don't, we're not giving fake compliments, right? We're giving like genuine, real compliments, and we are making people feel good about themselves. I want someone to leave an interaction. If I'm out meeting a mom for the first time, right, at Target or somewhere, I want them to have a good interaction with me, right? I want to be adding value to them, making their day better. Because then I can offer them later on something that's going to change their health, something that's going to change their finances, right? Um, and so what I want you guys to think about is when you're inviting, right? We have these calls. When we're inviting people, when you're inviting those new VIPs, right, into an orientation call on Tuesday, instead of thinking to yourself like, I'm bothering them, right? Say to yourself, I am offering the best customer care that I possibly can. And so I have something of value to add to them, right? When you're getting someone on a three-way call, when you're following our system, you're getting them on the three-way call instead of thinking, I doubt they're going to want to get on. I bet you that they're too busy, right? Instead, you're telling yourself, I am giving the best customer care. I'm giving the best customer experience, right? Because our posture changes everything in our reach outs, in our messaging, in our follow ups. When we have the right mindset behind it, it literally changes all of it, right? So, something that I like to do before I send messages, right? Take a few minutes and do some gratitude. Take a few minutes to reflect on how your life has changed because of these products, right? Because of this business opportunity. Get emotionally connected into that and ask yourself, how can I bless this person today? Who do I need to reach out to that could really use this? And when you're thinking about Wednesday night calls, okay, we have the Meet Plexus every single Wednesday from here until the end of time. Okay, not really, but seriously, we're very, very committed to doing this for a very, very long time. Okay. And so we're going to have these calls every single Wednesday, right? So in order to make that effective, in order to have people that you can invite into that, you constantly need to be expanding your network like I talked about, right? Meeting people in person, doing all of that. And you have to be in conversations with people all throughout the week, right? It is just a natural progression. The next step to invite them to these calls when you've already been talking to them, not just waking up on Wednesday morning and being like, I don't know, who should I invite, right? You should have been messaging people all throughout the week off of your stories, off of your posts, people who came to mind. And then that progression is going to be check out more on this call, right? But we have to have the right motives, right? We have to have the right heart, the right posture before reaching out to people, because that is really, really important, you guys. People can feel your energy when you're reaching out to them. When you're sending a voice message and you are just high on life and you're like, oh my goodness, you absolutely have to check out this thing that I have to offer. They can feel your passion, right? They can feel your excitement. And I'm not saying like be fake in your hype, but like I genuinely am that excited, right? If I'm talking to someone when I'm offering what I have, not like, oh my gosh, I think they're gonna tell me no. I don't think that they're gonna like this. They're gonna think that I'm bothering them. Like, no, no, no. We are in service, right? We are in a service industry and we are here to bless other people, regardless of if they're going to say yes to us, right? Um, and so our attitude is just different when we have this heart of service, right? And it's also being okay if it's not for them right now. Okay. This is not like a personal thing. It's like the waitress that goes around and asks everyone at the table for coffee, right? If people say no, she doesn't run away and cry. She doesn't quit her job. She doesn't throw her dreams in the garbage and be like, too many people told me no tonight. I cannot handle this. She doesn't do that. She will probably come around several times and ask if you would like something else to drink, right? She will continue to offer and you may continue to say no, but something might change along the way. And that no might turn into a yes. You might have ate something spicy and then decided that you wanted a water or a drink or whatever, right? You may be finished with your meal and you order dessert and then you're like, you know what? I will take that coffee because I'm going to sit here and linger for a while with my friends, right? We actually had this waiter one time. They were so confident in the appetizer addition that we should add to our order. We told him no. We said, no, we don't want that. Um, we were out, we ordered this appetizer, and he was like, do you want the bread to go with that? And we were like, no, we're not, we don't want the carbs. We're not gonna have the bread. And he said, you're gonna want to dip the bread in the sauce with the appetizer that you just had. He said, trust me. He said, actually, I'm just going to bring it out for you because you're going to want this when your appetizer arrives. He was so confident. And you know what? We were thanking him by the end for bringing that bread, even when we said that we didn't want it, because he knew what was best for us. In that moment, at that meal, that was the best thing for us. That was the best combination. And he was so confident in offering it to it that we changed our mind, right? And so if our conviction is so strong that they're going to love this, it's going to be a different experience. We can turn that no into a yes, right? Um, because of that personal connection, right? We want this personal connection to drive us instead of being so afraid to message people, right? We all have fears, right? We all have things that we're afraid of. Um, and think about this, you guys, right? In when we're talking about connecting with people, when we're talking about adding value, and then I have some really amazing stories to share with you that are just like gonna light you on fire, and you'd be like, I want to be like these people, okay? But if you think about it, if you think about connecting, if you think about adding value to people, right? Compliments, speaking to someone in line, creating new friends, right? In a selfish world, it is weird to people that you would care about someone without an ulterior motive, right? I am not just out um complimenting people, friending people because they I want them to order Plexus, right? I genuinely am trying to make the world a better place, right? Like my goal in life when I go out in public is, can I put a smile on somebody's face, right? Is that possible? Can I make somebody else's day better? Right? If I'm sending a message to a mom on Facebook because of something that I saw, it's like, how can I add value? I saw that their kid was in the hospital. I'm checking in on them, right? It's about more than just yourself, right? And like Megan Goff was talking about on her call the other night when she was our guest, she was talking about how we are professional friendship makers. Okay. This is network marketing, right? You have to network. And so they used to have this phrase back in the day. Oh, we don't use Rolodexes anymore, but just hang with me for a second, okay? They would say that you could tell somebody's income potential by the size of their Rolodex, okay? What that means is that inside your phone, right, all the contacts that you have, all of the friends, that's my dream board, by the way, on the back of my phone, so I always see it. Okay. It's the contacts that you have in your phone. It's the friends that you have on Facebook. It's the people that you're meeting. You can predict somebody's income based off of those things. And what that means is if you have spent your life connecting to people and being a person of value, right? Then people are going to want to be a part of this. Right? If you ever wonder how someone like Celeste Gwynn can go diamond in like 6 months and then she's a double diamond and she's the top of the company and has been for years and years and she has like 15 stars and all those different kind of things. If you ask her about it, she will say that she was networking with people and adding value to their lives for 40 years before she ever did Plexus. You guys, her entire life she was networking, because her dad taught her that. Her dad was really great in business. He taught her about networking. And so it's like everywhere that you go, there's somebody that you could meet, and then that person might be able to connect you to another person, to another person, to another person. You just never know. But in this business, you constantly want to be adding to your network, right? And you do that through adding value to other people, right? Um, okay, there's this guy. I'm like so inspired by this podcast that I was listening to. Okay. There's this guy. His name is Joe Girard. He wrote a book and I can't wait to read it. It is called How to Sell Anything to Anybody. Okay. But this is not like just about sales. Okay. He was a car salesman. This is like mind blowing. Okay. He was the best car salesman, not just the best car salesman, the best salesman in the world, like in the Guinness Book of World Record, 12 years in a row. Like, can you just think about that for a second? The best salesman in the world, 12 years in a row. And do you know how he did it? He did it through writing cards and making connections with people. Okay. If someone did not order or not order, you don't order cars, you buy cars, right? Even if somebody did not buy a car from him, they were getting cards all the time from him. Right. And it wasn't like anything crazy. It was this a short card. It would just be like, hey, I miss you. Come see me. Or, hey, I'm thinking about you over the holidays. I hope you have a great one. Like, this was not like mind blowing things. He wasn't taking hours, writing these very detailed cards to people, but people knew that he cared, right? They hadn't bought a car from him yet. He didn't care. He's not just sending these cards out to people who bought cars from him. He's writing these cards to everyone. He's adding value to their lives. He's letting them know, hey, I'm thinking about you. And what would happen is that word got out about who this guy was and his heart and how he took care of people and his clients, right? Think about this. When you normally think about car salesmen, people think slimy, right? When people think about network marketing, they think scam. But you can get past that through deep connection with people. You can get past that image by really actually caring about people, right? He had people who were lining up every single day, even in the wintertime in Detroit, to meet with him. Okay. He became somewhat of a celebrity because people knew that he cared, right? And when they showed up, here's the crazy thing. They weren't just there to look at cars. When they showed up, they were ready to buy a car. Okay. He created such an incredible reputation for himself, and his people skills magnetized people to him that his reputation sold people on cars before they even talked to him. They were sold on what they were going to buy before they ever had a conversation because his reputation was so strong with everyone around them. They knew that this guy cared. They knew that he wasn't going to scam them, right? They knew that they were going to get the best care. And it eventually got to the point where this man he had so many people. He had to hire a team of 12 to handwrite cards every single day. Because that's how many people he was interacting with. Like, I mean, just think about that. Like 12 years, Guinness Book of World Records, highest sales. And do you know his goal was never highest sales? His goal was to care about people. And that is how he was able to have his sales so high. So if you are laser focused, this is a really valuable lesson. If you are so laser focused on the sale, it can be really easy to miss that personal connection, right? But here's the irony. If you are so focused on the person, if you're focused on what's best for them, if you're focused on adding value to them, if you are focused on the relationship, then a natural byproduct is going to be that you are great at sales. Right? This guy was amazing at sales, but not because he knew how to convince people. It's because he magnetized people to him by caring about them. That is the kind of business that we are in. Okay, I have another story for you guys. This is like the top roofing company in like Maine or Massachusetts. I'm probably butchering the details, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get the point anyway. They are the top roofing company out there. And here's why. Okay. When they started their business, they literally did it not through advertising. They did it through personal referrals. That's basically what we do in Plexus, right? You skip the mass advertising and you do the referrals through people. But here's what they did. They took such good care of their customers. If you were a customer of theirs one time, you got 3 cards a year for the rest of your life. Okay. You got put into this funnel, into this card funnel. Okay. And you would get 2 thank you cards and a holiday card every single year. They outranked everyone in roof sales because if somebody had a leak in their roof, they literally said, call Bob and Diane. That's not their names. I can't remember their names, but it wasn't even called this roofing company. It was called these people because they had such a strong connection to the people, right? They're literally getting cards in the mail reminding them over and over again about who these people are. So if somebody needs a roof, if somebody has a leak, if somebody has this, they're like, call them, right? Because they built such a strong reputation. There's another dentist, okay? He knew that if he was sending cards out to people who hadn't been to his office in a year, if he sent that out to 100 people, right? He would get like 50 more appointments because he's constantly sending out the cards. He's constantly making that connection, right? Because people get busy, people get all these different kinds of things. And they're like, oh my goodness. Okay. So this personal touch, this personal connection is really key and essential. Okay. And then this last story that I have for you guys. So Alita started sending us Savannah Banana stuff. And I went down the whole rabbit hole of this team and the company and the guy who started it. And I'm literally mind blown. And I'm like, I have to take my kids to a game now. This is absolutely incredible. Okay. So this guy, he starts this baseball team, right? His customer care is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. So, you know how Keith Callahan, he would say, it's the unscalable that scales. And you might be like, what the heck does that mean, Megan? Okay. The unscalable that scales means that if I am sending thank you cards to my level 1 customers, right? And then I have a builder under me, then they're sending thank you cards to their level 1 customers. And then those people are catching on and they're sending thank yous to their level 1 customers, okay? Because it would be very, very difficult for me to send out thousands of cards because of the size of our organization. But it's those personal touches, right? That you can't do on a mass scale, but you can do on a small scale, and then other people can do on a small scale, and then they can do it on a small scale. So that is the unscalable that scales. It's that personal touch. It's those things that really make an impact and make a difference. And I am so guilty of getting away from those things, right? I was really inspired after hearing all of this that I really need to get back to those personal touches because I want people to have the best customer experience that they possibly can. So keeping in mind like that unscalable, it's the unscalable that scales, right? And so when Savannah Banana, when they first got started, right? First of all, they went from like 2 ticket sales in their first game to literally millions. And their goal is not, it's not about the money, it's not about the income. Their goal is to have 1 billion fans. They want to make an impact on 1 billion people for them to have a good experience, right? And so when they first started, they would pick up the phone and they would call every single person who either bought a ticket or purchased merchandise. And they would call them and they would be like, "What are you calling for?" They were like, "We're just calling to say thank you." And people were so blown away by the customer experience. I mean, they're doing like 100,000 plus calls just to say thank you. And they built up such a massive fan base, right? They have millions of fans now. Their goal is billions of fans, right? But they did it through the personal connection. They did it through that personal touch. And now it's so large, obviously they can't like make millions of phone calls, but they did start a nonprofit, a like a foster organization. They call it Bananas Foster. I'm like, oh my gosh, this marketing is like brilliant. Okay, they're foster parents. They started this organization for foster parents and they started about a few years ago, and every single person who donates, again because it's on a smaller scale now, every person who donates, even if it's just $5, they're calling them to say thank you. They're literally picking up the phone and just calling every single person saying thank you for your donation. You're making such, you're making such an impact. And when they went into this, like they have literally spent $0 on traditional advertising. Like none, zero. Okay. And they sell out so fast. Like it's almost impossible to get tickets because it is such a sold out thing, right? But their goal, when they were looking at this and they're saying, okay, most people look at marketing and social media and they're like, how can I get people to buy something from me? Right? Like we're posting, we're saying, how can we get someone to buy something from us? But they didn't do that. They decided they wanted to create an epic experience for people first, capture that, and then more people will say, wow, I want to be a part of that, right? Like their fans are organically, naturally sharing about this because they had such an amazing experience. He's like, I don't want people on their phones while they're at our games. I want them to be so glued into what's happening because it's so exciting, right? That they don't even want to leave to go to the bathroom. He's like, and then they're all sharing, right? Because they had an amazing experience. Like we want to create such like this is my goal, this is my vision, right? Over this next year, because I really see our teams doubling in size. I see it a massive explosion happening. We have these simple systems in place. And I truly believe that this spring is going to be the biggest boom that our team has ever seen. And it's just going to continue. But my vision with this is that we are going to create such an epic experience for people when they are ordering their products, when they are a part of our community, that they are naturally going to want to share with other people because they're going to feel so convicted about it. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, how could I not share this? Like, I love this community. I love these products. I love this business opportunity. I love all of these things. I want to share it with other people. Like, if we have that as our vision, when every single person orders the products for the first time, how can we make this the best customer experience, right? A lot of us, and I'm raising my hand. I'm saying I'm guilty of this. Somebody orders and you're like, yes, okay. And then it's like, oh my gosh, 2 weeks went by and you're like, what is happening? Right? I have been in seasons of that, okay? But here's the thing. If so I have this new customer right now and I'm like I'm just starting now. Like I'm starting literally with this person right now. I'm not trying to like backtrack all the things and beat myself up over it. I'm like I am working on making my customer experience greater than the last one, right? Like that's my goal. Every customer that comes in, how can I make this next customer experience even better than the last one? How can I improve? What can I learn? What can I try, right? Because truly experience is the best teacher, right? So I am willing to try and experience anything. And my goal is let's get them the absolute best experience possible, right? And so I'm thinking of the little things, right? And there's so many things that we can do for customer care, customer experience. And we're going to start dropping things in the afternoons in the We Mean Business chat about different ideas of customer care things that you can do. There's so many things that you can do for free. you guys, right? You can do a handwritten card. Okay, it's going to cost you a stamp, right? Like, but a handwritten card, a voice message to them telling them how grateful you are. I have done little campaigns for Small Business Saturday where I've taken pictures of my family, or I've had my kids like do a little dance with a sign and just say, "Hey, thank you so much for being a customer." Even if people haven't ordered in a year, I'm literally sending this out to them, just being like, "Hey, thank you so much for ordering the products before," like talking to people, just showing them gratitude, appreciation, right? So checking in on them regularly, seeing how they're doing. What I have learned is that the more that you are in conversation with your customers, the more you're going to learn about them. Okay. I got on the call, right? I'm following the systems. They ordered. I invited them to the VIP call. They couldn't jump on. I sent them the recording. They watched the recording. Okay. I get them in a group chat. I get them on a three-way call. We're on the three-way call. All of a sudden, all of these things start spewing out about all these health issues that they had that I had no idea that they had because they didn't tell me before they ordered, but they told on a three-way call. You have no idea how many times that happens. Okay. So get them on the phone, get them on the call, giving them a customer experience and phrasing it in a way that, like, we want to give you the absolute best customer care. And so we're going to jump on a quick 10-minute call and we're going to go over how to take your products and how to get the most out of it. Right. And people are like, oh, okay. Like, if you're phrasing it in a way that, like, how could you not get on? Right. And so you get on, you talk about that. I'm checking in, seeing how it's going. Like, tell me all the things that you're loving about it. Right. It's day 2. And I'm literally like, how much are you loving it? And they're getting back to me and they're like, is it possible that I'm feeling better in 2 days? And I'm like, it is. It absolutely is. Like, I'm leading it in a way of like, how are you loving your products? Right. And then we're checking about things. And I said, hey, I just want to give you a tip about the Slim Hunger Control that you have. It mixes better at room temperature, and then pour it over ice because it's better. And she goes, oh my gosh, you know what? I noticed that it was a little clumpy today. Thank you so much for that tip. It's like, if I wasn't talking to her and I wasn't trying to add value and give a better customer experience, I wouldn't know that she thought that it was clumpy, right? Like, she was trying to mix it in cold water. And it's like, I can't like dump every single tip out on the first day, right? I don't want to overwhelm them, but I'm going to drip it, right? I'm going to drip it. I'm going to drip these different things, right? So there's different ideas. You can do the handwritten card. You can send the voice messages saying thank you. You can do a family picture that says thank you for supporting my small business, or here's me doing a happy dance. Like literally get creative, right? Be fun with it. Have people have a fun experience. When Phil and I talk to people about Plexus, one of our number one things that we try to do is get people to laugh. And the reason that we try to get people to laugh is because we want them to leave an experience with us saying, those people are fun. We had a great time with them. I think that I could see myself being a part of what they are doing, right? And whether they say yes now or they say yes in 20 years, it doesn't matter. I want them to leave our presence having a good experience. And so just think about those things. How can you get creative with your customers in order to offer them and give them the very best experience possible? Are you plugging them into the community? Are you plugging them into the resources that we have? Are you inviting them to the new VIP call? Are you getting them on a three-way chat, right? Are you running small little challenge groups? Maybe you're pulling some people together in a chat and you're running a small little challenge group for them to show them the community. Maybe you're going down 3 levels and you're just doing a thank you for all of those people. Maybe you're like, hey, you know what? She just told me that she hates the taste of the Restore, but we know it's good for us. And so I'm going to give her a little shot. My mom's really good at that. She'll send out these little shot things, right? She has it right there. And so it's like, just how can you, it's small things that doesn't cost a lot, right? To send it out. And I'm not saying you have to spend money. I'm just throwing different ideas out, right? I've been known to like send out the little mixer, right? Especially if someone's doing a 3-day reset. They order the 3-day reset and I'm like, hey, there's also a mixer that I just sent you to make your life a little bit easier as you're mixing the soups and doing this, right? It's the thought that counts. It's the random gift or the random message of somebody saying, hey, thank you so much for being a loyal customer. Thank you for being so faithful. Thank you for trying these products one time. Whatever it looks like let's leave people, right? Whether they stick with this for life or they are with us for 2 months, I want people to leave a better person because they were in my presence. I want someone to say that their life is better because they experienced Plexus, because they were a part of our community, because they tried their products. And I will tell you, those people come back. I can't tell you how many times people will come back. So they're like, I miss this. I miss the way that I felt. I miss this community. I miss this. I miss that, right? Like, we want to, when somebody orders, that's the beginning. That's the very beginning. Somebody orders and it's like game on, best customer experience that we possibly can. That if that is our goal, right? Our goal is meeting new people. Our goal is adding value to their lives, right? Our goal is getting new people onto the Meet Plexus call so that these products and this opportunity can change their life. They order and then we give them the best customer experience that they possibly could ever have, right? And then they naturally want to share with their friends because they're like, I'm loving this so much. I'm loving these products. I'm loving the experience. And it just keeps going from there. So if our focus is how can we be the best? How can we offer the best customer care? How can we get creative? How can we help people to have the best experience, right? Like, how could it go? Like, I just think, how could our businesses not grow? Right? Like, how could it not grow if that is what you are doing? And so I hope that you guys are okay. Oh, one last story. Okay, we're in the car and we're listening to this podcast, and I'm listening to this section like over and over and over and over again because I wanted to be able to share about it tonight, and I have to like listen to things a lot of times. And my son, we're like going through some different reading strategies, and I was like, listen, like mommy has to listen to this a lot too. And he goes, mom, he's like, this is helping me. He said, because when I get older, if I want to be good at business, I learned today that it's all about connection. I'm like, you nailed it. You're 12 years old and you just freaking nailed it about business, right? If my 12-year-old, he's not even 12, he will be 12 soon. If he can understand that this business is about connection, we all can understand that this is about connection. So I want you guys to like share, drop in the We Mean Business chat, things that you have done, are doing, start to do this month, all of your different ideas. Like, I want us to get fired up and excited because somebody might have something you're like, I never even thought of that. That's so cool. Okay, I'm going to do that. And again, like I said, we're going to start dropping some different customer care challenges in there for you to do. But I hope that you leave tonight feeling so fired up and inspired to bring the best to our people, to bring the best to our customers, and you are going to see your business thrive, right? We are not here to give the bare minimum. We are here to give our best. So I'm super fired up about what is to come in our team, in our company, in all of the things. And people are going to be like, what is happening over there, right? Like, it is a massive explosion. What's going on? What are they doing? And we can say, we're loving on people, right? We're giving them the best experience that they can. So I love you guys. You all are amazing. And I hope that you have a wonderful night.